Okay, students. So last class we have discussed about different population means, that is natality, mortality, immigration, emigration. How natality, mortality, immigration, emigration affect the population size. So today we will discuss about another important part, that is called migration. Migration, not immigration or emigration. What is migration? Migration is a different thing. This migration is completely different from immigration and emigration. So first I will recall the immigration and emigration, then we will compare with migration. So last class I had told you what is immigration. This is the population. This is the population. In this population, let 100 individuals are present. 100 individuals are present. Let tiger. You can take example of tiger. Tiger population. 100 tiger are present in this population. If 10 number of tiger from outside or from other population enters into this forests, that is called immigration, represented by capital I. Immigration. So immigration is nothing, one way inward movement, inside they are moving inside this population. One way inward movement is called as immigration. Its opposite is called emigration. What is emigration? One way outward movement. Let 20 individuals from this 100, 20 individuals left the habitat and gone anywhere else. That is called as emigration. So immigration is a one way inward movement. Emigration is a one way outward movement. But what is migration? Combine the both. Combine immigration and emigration. One example I am giving. Listen carefully. This is a population. This is one population. Population of 1,000 birds. 1,000 birds, not tigers. We'll take birds. Population of one kind of birds. Okay. And all of you know, the birds have a migratory activity. Birds can fly to a particular place during winter time. Best example is your Chilika Lake in Odisha. Thousands of birds come to Chilika, and after certain period again they have to go to their natural habitat. So in this case, migration, what happens? Migration is nothing, the departure, periodic departure of individuals from a population and also return to that population after a particular time. After a particular time, they have to return also to the same area from where they have already gone. So this is periodic departure. Listen these two terms. Periodic departure and return. Periodic departure and return to the same population. Now one question comes in your mind. Sir, if they are first departed to a particular place, then why they are returning again? What is the reason why they are not settled in that place? The main reason to escape time during the harsh time or extreme time, just like in case of winter time. In case of winter time, due to heavy cold, due to freezingly cold, most of the birds cannot survive in other places. So that's why during winter time, from the north region, northern hemisphere of earth, where very cold is there, maximum birds comes to Chilika or other Indian conditions, where there is suitable habitat, where they can easily survive in the place. So remember, what is migration? Migration is nothing. Migration is the periodic departure and return. Departure and return from or to the population. For the departure for a population and return to the same population. You have to remember this thing. The periodic departure and return from or to the population is known as a migration. It is clear. So that's why we can say what is migration. It is the combination of immigration and emigration. Immigration and emigration are one way. Immigration and emigration. Listen carefully. Immigration and emigration. These are the one way. These are the one way mechanism. One way. Either inward, one way, yeah, exit or outward, one way. But this is two way. Two way means both. They can go and come in. Best example, we will take one example. The example of migration. What is the example of migration? The best example of migration. Thousands of birds from Siberia during winter time, from Siberia migrate to Colorado National Park. Colorado National Park. This question you have to remember. Colorado National Park. It is present in Bharatpur, Rajasthan. It is a question in NEET. Frequently asked question. Colorado National Park found where? It is found in Bharatpur, Rajasthan. Bharatpur, Rajasthan. This is one example of migration. You can take. So thousands of migratory birds, migratory birds. Thousands of migratory birds means not 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, like that, multiple of thousand. Thousands of birds from Siberia and other northern region. Not only Siberia, most of the northern region, where there is heavy cold during winter time. From the Siberia, migrate to the Colorado National Park, Bharatpur, Rajasthan. This is the best example of migration. And after completion of that period, very cold period, again they migrate, again they return to the Siberia. From the Siberia they come to Colorado National Park, again from Colorado National Park to Siberia. Means it is a two-way departure and return to the same habitat or same population. That is called as a migration. And another example in human you can take during summer time. People move from Delhi to Simla. During summer time. It is very hot during summer time in Delhi. So that's why people move from Delhi to Simla. Again, after completion of that period, again they return. So that's why departure and return is known as a migration. So that's why migration have no effect on the population size. Immigration, emigration, one can increase, one can decrease, but migration cannot increase or decrease the population size. With this, we have completed the migration. Now we'll move towards our next part, next important, that is birth rate and death rate. Listen carefully. At the end, we have to compare all. So one by one, all the concept you keep in your mind. So next is the birth rate. Birth rate. Shortly written as a small b, not capital B. Because capital B already we have used in natality. Birth rate is written as a small b. Similarly, another is a death rate. Death rate is written as a small d, small letter. So listen carefully. What is the meaning of this birth rate and death rate? First come to birth rate. Birth rate or death rate does not mean, it means the number of baths per individual in the population. Bath rate does not means number of deaths with respect to a particular time. Time is considered, but it is bath rate is mainly with respect to number of individuals in the population. For example, in a population 100 tigers are there. 100 tiger. 10 tiger died due to any condition. So what will be the death rate? Death rate will be 10%. As in, out of 110 died. Similarly, birth rate and death rate, these are mainly per capita birth rate. Per capita birth rate. Per capita birth rate, and similarly death rate means per capita death rate. Per capita death rate. So per capita birth rate and per capita death rates. So first come to what is this birth rate with one example. One example we will take, with the example we will discuss. Let there are 20 lotus plants. 20 lotus plant in a pond. 20 lotus plant in a pond last year. 20 lotus plant in a pond last year. Last year, in a particular date, 20 lotus plant were there. And due to coronavirus infection, let 4 plants died. 4 lotus plant, not, it is birth rate, not died. Deaths we will discuss here. Okay, so remove that coronavirus example. So 20 lotus plant in a pond last year, and 4 lotus plant are added. 4 lotus plant added in this year by reproduction. Added by reproduction. Then we will calculate what is the birth rate. What is the birth rate? So initially there are 20 lotus plants in a pond last year, but in this year 4 plants were added. So what is the birth rate? Formula: small b equals to number of baths divided by total number of individuals before baths. Total number of individuals before baths in the population. The number of baths in the population is 4 divided by total number of individuals is 20. So now you can calculate how much it is coming. It is 0.2. Yes or no? So 0.2 is the birth rate. So birth rate in this example, birth rate is 0.2 lotus plant. 0.2 lotus plant per year. Per plant per year. Means, what is the meaning of this? The 20 lotus plant produced 4 plants. 20 lotus plant produced 4 plants. Means per plant it is 0.2. 0.2 lotus plant per plant. So 0.2 is coming per plant per year in 1 year. So this is the birth rate. Clear? Now come to death rate or per capita death rate. With the same example you can calculate. With the same example, let 4 fruit flies. 4 fruit flies. Fruit flies are the insects. Fruit flies are the insects. 4 fruit flies died due to coronavirus infection out of 40. Out of 40. Total fruit flies were 40. Out of 40 fruit flies, how many died? 4 died. 4 out of 40 died. Then what will the death rate? So death rate, small d, will be 4 divided by 40. And this is in a week. Let in a week. Here, in 1 week. 1 week, 4 fruit flies died out of 40. So death rate will be 4 divided by 40. Means it is 0.1 per 0.1 deaths per fruit flies per week, per fruit flies per week, means within 1 week there is 0.1 deaths per fruit flies there is 0.1 per fruit flies per week. So you have to remember this, what is per capita birth rate and what is per capita death rate. Clear? So per capita birth rate, with this we have completed what is per capita births and per capita death rates. So per capita birth rate, per capita death rate means out of number of births or number of deaths out of total. Total you have to remember, out of total how much births and how much death is there. So with this we have completed the birth rate and death rate. So simple, you have to remember the birth rate and death rate are different from natality and mortality. In natality and mortality we are considering the number. If you calculate the difference between the birth rate, death rate and natality, mortality, what is the main difference between birth rate, death rate or natality and mortality? Natality is the number of births. But birth rate is per capita births. Similarly, mortality is the number of deaths and death rate is the per capita deaths. So with this we have completed birth rate and death rate. Another important thing here you have to remember, one is called intrinsic rate. Intrinsic rate, or it is also called intrinsic rate of natural increase. Intrinsic rate of natural increase. What is the meaning of intrinsic rate of natural increase? Intrinsic rate of natural increase is nothing. It is B minus D. Means birth rate minus death rate. If you know the birth rate small b and death rate small d, then just birth rate minus death rate. The minus the death rate from the birth rate is known as intrinsic rate, and the symbol of intrinsic rate is small r. The intrinsic rate is represented by small r. So r equal to b minus d. So with this, these three terms you have completed. What is birth rate, what is death rate, and what is intrinsic rate. So now we will move towards our next important part after completing this birth rate and death rate. I hope this is clear to all of you. Easy questions. So now come to next part. Next part is your age pyramid. You will get one question from this part, sure, this year in your board examination as well as in NEET examination, in entrance. What is age pyramid? Before going to age pyramid, first we will look at a population. Let's take a human population. We are discussing all about the characteristic of a population, attributes of a population, starting from natality, mortality, immigration, emigration, migration, birth rate, death rate. Now we have reached at age pyramid. What is age pyramid? If you look at a human population, one population I have taken as an example. You can take any population. If you look at a human population and if you try to calculate the age, age of humans found in a population. Population means a group of individuals in a particular geographical area. Group of individuals of a same species in a particular geographical area is known as population. If you calculate the age, of human in the human population, you find different age groups. For example, you find some human are above 40, some humans are below 10, and some human are between 20 to 30. So different type of age you will find. You never find all are uniform age. You never find all humans are of same age. Different age groups are found. Different age groups. So that's why for our easy understanding, different age groups are found. Age group, human age group. Scientists have divided the human into different age groups. What are the different age groups? One is 0 to 15 year age. 0 to 15 year means from birth to 15 year. That is one group. Similarly, another is 15 to 45 year. This is second age group. And the next is above 45 year. Three age groups are there. And the first age group is called as a pre-reproductive age group. Pre-reproductive age group. What is the meaning of pre-reproductive? Pre-reproductive means unable to reproduce. Reproductive organs are not developed much. Within 0 to 15, reproduction is not possible. So that's why 0 to 15 is not the age of reproduction. So this is a pre-reproductive, before reproduction. But after 15, one human is capable of reproduction. That is called as a reproductive, not pre-reproductive. This is called only reproductive age. Reproductive. This is called a reproductive age group. Similarly, the last, after 45, this is called as a post-reproductive age group. Post-reproductive. Post means after reproduction. Post-reproductive age group. So that's why, what is pre-reproductive, what is reproductive, what is post-reproductive, you have to remember. 0 to 15, 15 to 45, above 45. Now take one example. Go to a human population, any area, if you go to human population, any region of India, you can find pre-reproductive, below 15 year age, some people between 15 to 45, and some people above 45. And if you count their number, if you count all the three stages of human population, you never find all are equal. You never find all age groups are of same number. For example, if you go to one area, let area number 1, pre-reproductive individual, you find 1000 people, human, are 0 to 15. Similarly, you may find 2000 are between 15 to 45, and 500 are above 45. Above 45 are 500. So that's why this example indicates the number is not same in all groups. The number varies. Similarly, if you go to another area, area number 2, you may find just opposite. You find pre-reproductive are more, 2000, reproductive are less, 500, post-reproductive are very less, later 100. So like that you can find this number. And scientists have tried to use these numbers, these values of different age groups to plot a graph. So graph is plotted whether some population are containing more number of post-reproductive or pre-reproductive, to know which age group is found in a particular population in more number. To find out that, scientists used these values to plot a graph, and that graph gives a pyramidal shape known as age pyramid. So what is the definition of age pyramid? First we will discuss here. The age pyramid is nothing. It is the graphical representation of different age groups in a population. Age groups in a population is known as age pyramid. The graphical representation, it is a graph of different age groups. Because why different age groups? Because already we have discussed, in a population you never find only one particular age. There is a different age groups. Some are pre-reproductive, some are reproductive, some are post-reproductive. Different age groups in a population because each population contain individuals of different age. Okay, so now we will discuss what are the different types of age pyramid. Now the age pyramid is categorized into three types. Age pyramid is of three types. How many types of age pyramid are there? Three types. One by one we will discuss. Three types of age pyramid. First, before going to age pyramid, first we will discuss three groups we have divided. One is pre-reproductive age group. Second group is called reproductive age group, and the last group is called as a post-reproductive age group. Post-reproductive. So three age groups: reproductive, pre-reproductive, reproductive, and post-reproductive. Now we will use how these pre-reproductive, reproductive, and post-reproductive are used in different type of age pyramids. Now I am showing one age pyramid to you. Look at this age pyramid. Better we will draw it as a small because three diagrams here we have to draw. This is pre-reproductive age group. Pre-reproductive, lower one. The lower one is the pre-reproductive age group, and just above it there is reproductive age group. This one is reproductive, and the last one is the post-reproductive. This is the post-reproductive. Upper one is the post-reproductive. The bottommost is the pre-reproductive. If you look at this graph, this gives a pyramidal shape. Why the pyramidal shape? It indicates the bottom part is highest. The area under the bottom part, this part is highest area. So pre-reproductive age group contain highest area. Next, just after pre-reproductive, reproductive is somewhat less. The area of reproductive is less than pre-reproductive, and minimum is post-reproductive. Minimum or least is the post-reproductive. So that's why we can say in this graph there is a gradual reduction in number. Pre-reproductive is highest, reproductive is medium, and post-reproductive is lowest. Now, in this graph, looking at this graph, you can predict the growth status of the population. What is the future of this population? You can predict. You can predict the future of this population. What is the future of this population? Now, look at this diagram. If you look at these three age groups, post-reproductive are of no use because in post-reproductive individual there is no reproduction capacity. So now, where is the reproduction capacity? In reproductive group and also in pre-reproductive group, because in the future the pre-reproductive become reproductive. Yes or no? So in future, in this condition, pre-reproductive are unable to reproduce. But after passage of some year, the pre-reproductive will jump to reproductive age and the reproductive will jump into post-reproductive. Like this it goes. The pre-reproductive goes to reproductive after some year and the reproductive will go to post-reproductive. So that's why we can predict if a population contain more number of free reproductive individuals, if a population contain more number of free reproductive individuals, in the future, the number of individuals in the population will increase because you can compare the reproduction. Now, in the reproductive group, number of individuals are less. So, less number of individuals will reproduce less. But in the future, as pre-reproductive is more number of individuals will reproduce more in the future. So, that's why in this graph, we can predict the population will expand or population will increase its size. Size means the number of individuals. So population will increase its size. So that's why this type of population is called as expanding population. Expanding. This type of population is known as expanding population and the pyramid is called as expanding age pyramid. Expanding or growing. We can say expanding or growing. It can grow in future. So growth or expansion is possible because of pre-reproductive. Because they will enter into reproductive stage in the future and reproduce more. Similarly, side by side we will compare with another pyramids. Let's take in another example. This is the pre-reproductive age. Next is the reproductive. And the last one is post-reproductive. This is the post-reproductive. If you compare this graphical representation, now what I have shown you, this age pyramid with this age pyramid, only one difference is there. In this case, expanding, the pre-reproductive are more than reproductive. Reproductive is less, pre-reproductive is more. We are not discussing about the post-reproductive because post-reproductive have no use now. They will not reproduce now or not in the future. But here in this graph, if you look, the pre-reproductive and the reproductive are almost equal. Almost. Pre-reproductive and reproductive are almost equal. Not exactly equal, almost equal. So that's why, what is the future of this population? In future, this type of age pyramid show a stable growth. Stable growth means the number of reproduction or the number of individual by reproduction in the population now due to reproductive age will be same in the future by the pre-reproductive because pre-reproductive number is same also with the reproductive. So that's why this type of age pyramid is called as a stable age pyramid. So three types of age pyramid we have to discuss. First is expanding age pyramid. Second is stable age pyramid. Now you can guess what we are going to discuss in last age pyramid. In the first pyramid, pre-reproductive are more, reproductive are less. In the second pyramid, pre-reproductive and reproductive become equal. Now gradually the pre-reproductive is decreasing. Initially more, decreases, become equal. Now it become less than the reproductive. So that's why we have to show in the next graphical representation. In the next graphical representation, what you find in the next age pyramid. This is another age pyramid. In this age pyramid, you can find the pre-reproductive. The pre-reproductive age, this is the reproductive age. The pre-reproductive age is less than the reproductive. So what you expect from this graph? This graph indicates in the future, not for current condition we are discussing for future. In the future, the pre-reproductive is less, so that's why in the future reproduction will decrease as compared to reproductive. Now the reproduction is more, but in the future, as the number of free reproductive is less, in the future the reproduction capacity will decrease in the population. So that's why in the future the population number or population size will decrease. So that's why this type of age pyramid is called as a declining age pyramid. Declining age pyramid. So that's why three types of age pyramids. One is expanding, one is stable, another is declining. This is the growing population, this is the stable population, this is the declining population. And if you look at the shape of the age pyramids, this shape of the age pyramid, how the shape of this first pyramid, it is a triangular in shape, triangular in shape, triangular. This shape is called as a triangle shape, triangular. Gradually there is a reduction to top. But if you look at the second pyramid, this is your bell shaped graph. This is a bell. This shape is called as a bell. It is not a triangle because these two parts become same. This is called bell shape. This is a triangle shape. This is a bell shape. And the last shape, this type of shape, is called as a horn shape. This is called horn shape. So three type of shape we have discussed, and it can come as a short note. What is age pyramid for 2 mark or 3 mark question? So that's why you have to remember what is age pyramid, what are the different types of age pyramid, what is definition of age pyramid, what are the different types of age pyramid, and what is the shape of the age pyramids. Okay, so with this we have completed today's lecture.